Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And you can call me Bobby Bowfinger.
Welcome to episode 376, G1 Climax Final 1999.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
It's only, sometimes it feels like we go a long time before we get to the kind of wrestling we enjoy the most.
Yeah, we don't get to watch it as much as we want because it's just so hard to find.
Yeah, we're not covering like every one of their pay-per-views.
No, actually, so behind the scenes talk here.
Yeah, might as well.
So World doesn't have tons of full shows back until 2015, 2016 is kind of when they started doing full shows, English commentary, yada, yada, yada. So, before that, there are plenty of matches out there that we could have covered.
It's just kind of...
But it's just
sprinkled all over the place.
Literally, it might be one or two matches per show. And it's kind of seems like a waste of a recording session or a week.
Yeah. When we find a full...
And so usually the full shows that we can find are obviously January 4th. We can usually find more than one match for Best of Super Juniors, and we can usually find a handful of matches for the G1 Climax.
Yeah. Sometimes we find all of it and then just decide to cut it. Because if it's all of Super Juniors or whatever, it's like, all right, well, we have to watch 5-6 hours of wrestling to cover an episode. It's like, well, we can just do the semifinals into the...
But for some reason, the final day of the G1 Climax in 1999, the entire show... Well, I say the entire show. There actually was...
More matches.
One match that was on the cage match card. I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
The cage match card that was not on the recording. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But I kind of feel like there probably was maybe some Young Lion matches or
undercard
or
tags.
Some tag matches that didn't involve G1 guys on the show just because of logistics. Because literally the last two matches have the same person in the match.
Yeah.
And you'd think that they would have given them at least a match to...
Yeah, and also this show is only
recoup.
An hour 45 or something like that, and it's who's gonna buy a ticket for a wrestling show that's an hour and 45 minutes? I mean, maybe me. That sounds nice. Let's just get it done. But still.
But this is the 9th annual G1 Climax produced by New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was held from August 10th to August 15th, 1999 in Japan, with attendances ranging from 6,700 people in Osaka to 11,500 in Tokyo at the Ryogoku Gogugikan, which is where we're at for the finals.
Which makes sense. Tokyo has a higher population, so you're gonna sell more tickets. Why would you have the final in Osaka when you can get a couple more thousand people in the building?
Exactly. Not even just a couple more. Almost double.
Almost double, yeah.
Almost double, yeah. But we are in Japan, and I just so happened to just be looking out on the internet and found a
very interesting photo
of one of our wrestlers. Now, not back in 1999, a photo from then, but from 2015. But it's still the same guy, just obviously 16 years after the fact. And at this point, he's 48 years old. And he tweeted out a picture of his monster morning breakfast. And it literally has 13 plates of food and 6 beverages.
I didn't even see the beverages.
So it's 2 huge salads, a pumpkin, an omelet, ham, sausage, some more vegetables, some croquettes, some fruit plates, 5 large bread rolls. The beverages are 2 cups of coffee, a glass of milk, and 2 glasses of orange juice. But he also has some miso soup. And out of everything that was in this picture, the only thing that was really like this is Japanese.
Yeah.
Was the miso soup.
It's like everybody's got sausage and everybody makes omelets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've never actually had miso soup.
It's nice. It's light. Did you like it?
I did. I enjoyed it. So I ran to one of our local Japanese sushi bars and picked up some miso soup for us to try it out.
Yeah.
It was super nice. Like it was like, even with it having sit in my car for like 20 minutes from the time I picked it up to when I got here.
Yeah.
Like, it was still super flavorful. The seaweed that, like, I don't know if you got any seaweed in the bottom of yours. Yeah. It had good flavor to it. Like,
yeah, I don't think I've ever had bad miso soup, and I've never had life-changing miso soup. It's just always solid. I'm sure that that's just the case for being over here in the U.S. Most people probably buy the same like miso paste or whatever from. The options are probably quite a bit smaller.
From the Benny Keith or
or
Cisco, U.S. Foods.
Yeah. So, no, not bad at all.
So see, that segment's not always gone, guys.
We bring it back sometimes. Yeah. Depends on how busy everyone is.
But also around the same time as the G1 Climax, a couple of films.
A couple of bangers.
Would hit theater the same weekend.
Probably didn't make a whole lot of money, but boy, did I love them.
Bowfinger and Detroit Rock City.
I watched these movies on repeat. I taped them off of television. I think I saw Bowfinger in the theater. And Detroit Rock City, I taped off of like HBO. But yeah, I watched these movies a whole bunch. I think they're underrated, but people do love them. They just weren't huge hits.
I can honestly say that I did not care for Bowfinger the first time I saw it.
It's so good.
Now, I haven't watched it in 20 plus years either. Yeah. So, maybe I should give it another try.
I think it's worth another shot.
But, like, I like Steve Martin. Eddie Murphy has most of the things that I've seen Eddie Murphy in that I've really liked. I like Heather Graham, Christine Baranski. And it's directed by Frank Oz, who like, makes
Yoda himself.
Makes great films, if not at least puts his 2 cents in to make films better. But I do remember liking Detroit Rock City.
See, these are 2 like types of movies that I'm always a fan of, which is a bunch of misfits trying to make a movie. Is a genre of movies that I typically always enjoy. And then the other one is a One Crazy Night movie. And Detroit Rock City, it's One Crazy Night, but it's a bunch of kids trying to get to a Kiss concert.
Who are these kids that are in this movie? Have they gone on to do anything?
I think Edward Furlong's one of them.
I mean, Edward Furlong's one of them. I mean, he's the big...
One of them,
he's the name.
One of them makes like fucked up avant-garde movies. I can't remember which guy
is that. Sam Huntington?
Maybe. I don't know for sure. I've never seen any of his films, but I know that they're like definitely very...
that name sounds familiar.
Excuse me.
Well, he had never directed anything, so probably not him. No, Natasha Lyonne is in this film, Detroit Rock City. I mean, my hall pass for Emmanuelle Shrieky is in this movie.
Oh, who's that?
She plays Barbara in the film.
Oh, yeah, she's hot.
There's Shannon Tweed. Everyone who grew up in the 90s knows who Shannon Tweed is. And if you don't, make sure you're not at a work computer.
I think it's James DeBello might be the guy that makes weird avant-garde movies. Or maybe I'm just crazy.
Maybe you're crazy. Let's see here. I don't see any directorialship for him either.
All right. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. It's happened before. Oh, no, it's the guy that plays... I think it's Giuseppe Andrews.
Giuseppe? Yeah, Giuseppe's done 74 movies, so I'd definitely say he would be your guy, because that name doesn't ring a bell, and all of his movies are, like, short films.
Yeah.
And those are definitely some names of movies.
And it looks like he disappeared from the public eye in 2015. But yeah, all right, I was right. Known for directing and producing multiple avant-garde films, which commonly feature trailer parks and their residents. Sounds like the kind of weird shit that I might like. Yeah, this guy's probably just a true weirdo.
Does seem that way.
I always appreciate. Harmony Korine fan. Maybe I need to get into some Giuseppe Andrews pictures. Like Tweak City.
But Detroit Rock City, it's literally 4 guys, like you were saying. They basically tried to scam their way get into a Kiss concert. And they actually had Kiss. Actually,
I mean, Shannon Tweed, she was probably married. I don't know if she still is, to Gene Simmons, wasn't she?
She might have been at the time. I don't know if she still is.
That guy's pretty insufferable. And that's coming from a Kiss fan. But yeah, I Want to Hold Your Hand is a movie that's also like this that I love, which is a bunch of kids trying to go see the Beatles. Which
is great.
It's a great movie. This is it's the same idea, except for it's taking place in the 80s, and so it's a little more scummy.
Late 70s.
Late 70s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more scummy. There's weed jokes, mushroom jokes. This one's like I said, a little raunchier.
I'm like, did Dazed and Confused already come out?
I think so. I think that's 98.
That's not Dazed and Confused. It's 93.
Oh wow. Yeah, we're way off.
Way off, like, because that's the kind of vibe that you kind of get.
Yeah. From
the movie is a little Dazed and Confused. Like, not all the characters are as jackasses as like some of the main guys in Dazed and Confused, but
yeah. But yeah, it's I like a bunch of different stuff going on in one evening kind of movie, and this is one that I think does it well, and I assume it holds up, but what do I know? But Bowfinger, I think age is like fine wine, my friend, especially in a world with a lack of comedy films, especially ones that are good. Yeah. Bowfinger holds up for sure.
And I mean, the crazy thing is that it literally is satiring the filmmaking business.
Yep.
So that it actually got money to be made is.
I mean, I think it has to do with the Eddie Murphy and Frank and Steve Martin of it all. But
totally.
And also, they like the most expensive thing here is Eddie Murphy. So it's like, if Eddie Murphy wants to make a movie in 99, he can get a movie made in 99. And this is like probably something he really enjoyed the script of if he's doing it, because he'd been doing like Dr. Dolittle and shit like that. So
it didn't quite double its budget at the theater, but I'm sure. See, I don't think I saw either one of these until the rental days.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bowfinger in theater because I loved it. I remember singing its praises. I almost bought a Bowfinger t-shirt the other day. I was like, I don't need any more t-shirts.
Was it "You're Gonna Be a Star"?
What?
Is that what it said on it?
I don't know. I had a bunch of shit on the front, and on the back it had like quote unquote chubby rain. I think it was a big raindrop, because that's the name of the movie they're trying to make. It's a great premise of a movie. Basically, they find a guy who looks just like the like real life Eddie Murphy, and but he's a complete dork, and they're like using him to try to make this crummy like run and gun movie. And then of course Eddie Murphy plays essentially himself as a famous star with some really great scenes. He seems to be really obsessed with the fact that he thinks everybody is racist. He's like, there's this many K's in this script. Like, if you divide that by 3, that's this many like KKKs. Like, just making shit up out of nowhere. It's a really great scene. Good movie. Yeah.
Well, you get the highest recommend of Bowfinger from Michael.
Yeah, and Detroit Rock City. And this is my hot take about Kiss. If you don't like Kiss, you're an anti-Semite. Because Kiss just writes good, fun, poppy rock songs. There's plenty of bad ones, but they definitely have at least like 30 good songs.
But definitely go check both those movies out if you've never seen them. Well, let's talk some G1 Climax.
Happy to do it.
1999. So, just up front, last time we saw all these wrestlers, unless mentioned, was at Wrestling World 99, episode 340. We open on the ring announcer who says that, and he says it in Japanese, but I know what he's saying because this is what he's saying.
Okay, yeah. I know because I've watched enough of these. Yeah.
Well, I know what he's trying to get across. I guess I don't know what exactly he's saying. I just know what he's getting across with what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Kazui Yamasaki has forfeited because of injury, giving Shiro Koshinika the win, and now Shiro has 6 points in Block B. Doesn't really matter to the end game of the block, so Yamazaki was hurt, so they were just just forfeit. Don't hurt yourself more, basically. So we won't get to see those two guys, but they were in this tournament as well. So that takes us to our first match. Tadao Yasuda versus Yuji Nagata in a Block A match. And Yasuda was sitting at 0 points and in last place, while Yuji was at 6 and tied for the lead in the block. Nagata needs to win here.
And, Yasuda really had a rough go of it.
Yeah. So we get traded strikes to start when Tadao takes his opponent to a corner to stomp a mud hole, before hammering away with clubbing blows, a body slam, and an elbow drop. Yasuda then locks on an ab stretch and a camel clutch to wear down Nagata, only for Yuji to escape and deliver kicks, a drop toe hold, and a leg lock, until Tadao can reach the ropes. Exchanged chops lead to Yasuda taking control with a pair of big boots and a choke lift, followed by going for a Boston Crab, but Nagata makes the ropes. Yuji attacks the legs with basement drop kicks and an ankle lock until Tadao kicks him away. So Nagata transfers to a cross arm breaker momentarily when they make it back to their feet for Yuji to nail an enziguri. And Nagata continues to work the appendage with more leg locks, forcing Yasuda to crawl to the ropes, only to go right back to work with a Nagata lock 1, again making Tadao reach for the ropes to break the hold.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was called, and I was like, this looks like a backwards figure 4.
Yeah.
It's a reverse figure 4, but I was like, I don't know the name of this.
More leg locks when Yuji goes for a suplex, but Yasuda blocks and hits sumo strikes to take his opponent to a corner, before charging in with a splash and a butterfly suplex for a 2 count. Tadao then takes Nagata down with a choke slam, only for Yuji to counter it into a cross arm breaker, with Yasuda barely reaching the ropes with his foot. Now back to their feet, Nagata goes for kicks when Tadao catches one for a dragon screw leg whip and a tiger driver for a near fall. Yasuda hits another big boot, goes for a running kick, only for Yuji to nail a shin kick that takes his opponent down, and applies another leg lock for the submission and the win.
Strong match, solid storytelling, and the right man won.
So we go to our second match. Kensuke Sasaki versus Tatsumi Fujinami in a Block A match.
So we got the young beefy boy and the old warrior.
Yep. So Sasaki has 4 points. So after the win by Nagata, he's mathematically eliminated. While Tatsumi needs a win to keep pace. So he's at 6 points right now as well. Need that win to stay on top. And they lock up to start with arm work, body slams, headlocks, and head scissors shared between them, when Fujinami takes his opponent down with a dragon screw leg whip and applies a leg lock until the ropes are made. Kensuke fires away with chops, only for Tatsumi to respond with kicks and another dragon screw leg whip into a leg lock momentarily. Sasaki then challenges Fujinami to kick away, but Tatsumi slaps Kensuke first, but is chopped down, causing Fujinami to roll out to regroup. Now back in, Sasaki charges in to take control with chops, corner clotheslines, and a vertical suplex for a 2 count. He goes for another, only for Tatsumi to escape and deliver more kicks. Shoulder blocks and slaps are then exchanged, followed by a running bulldog and lariat from Kensuke, But Fujinami answers back with a clothesline and a dragon screw leg whip before turning his opponent over into the sharpshooter, forcing Kensuke to crawl his way to the ropes. Body slam and Tatsumi heads up top, but Sasaki meets him there to nail a superplex for a near fall, followed by applying Stranglehold Y, only for his knee to give out. Kensuke then hits several lariats and an imponze for a 2 count, picking up Fujinami to deliver the Northern Lights Bomb for the pin and the win. So both men are now eliminated from Block A.
This is great stuff. I promise I do love wrestling when it looks like this. It's like
This is a hard-hitting match.
everyone's selling perfectly, all those dragons. After this match, I was like, you know what? It might be my favorite wrestling move of all time, the dragon screw leg whip. It always looks good. It always looks like it hurts, and it's simple.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, I don't know that I've seen very many bad ones kind of on who's selling it, but still. And it looks so, like, I would cry if anybody did that to my knee. It just always looks effective.
Well, we go to our third match. Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Masahiro Chono in a Block B match.
And at this point, are they both still NWO guys? Or is the NWO...
The NWO is
like in red and white or red and black or whatever?
separated.
Okay.
Chono is now Team 2000, I believe, is what he's calling it.
Yeah.
It's either 2000 or 3000. It's
probably 2000 since we're coming up on
Yeah, probably. Muto is the leader of the NWO, and Tenzan and Kojima and Saito are still all part of that crew.
Okay.
In the NWO.
So, yeah.
So the NWO Japan is still a thing.
But Masahiro Chono has defected.
Correct.
And he's the heel, right?
Yes.
Like NWO is kind of on a face turn, I imagine?
On a face turn, yeah.
Okay.
We did see Masahiro at Wrestling World, but the last time we saw him wrestle was at last year's G1 Climax, episode 314. Because that was when it was supposed to be Chono and Muto for the belt, but Chono got hurt going into the show. So then we had Scott Norton.
Oh, yeah, because we were like, why is Scott Norton here? It's like, oh, well, I mean, because for some reason, Scott Norton can wrestle in Japan, but as soon as you get him on American soil, nobody could possibly care.
Yeah. So Tenzan, in Block B, Tenzan had 4 points and mathematically eliminated, while Chono was tied for the lead. So, once again...
Tenzan has a chance to play Giant Killer.
Yep.
And I'm sure he'd love to, as these two no longer get along.
Yeah. So the two get into each other's faces until the ref backs up Masahiro, when Hiroyoshi charges in, only to receive a big boot. But Chono telegraphs his move, allowing Tenzan to kick him away and deliver a spinning heel kick. Hiroyoshi with Mongolian chops, corner clothesline, and a calf branding to drive down his opponent to the mat, before a top rope headbutt that Masahiro avoids, and climbs to the top himself for a flying shoulder block. Chono with arm locks, headlocks, and a side Russian leg sweep for a 2 count, followed by more arm work and exchange strikes between the two, when Tenzan would hit a headbutt to the gut, causing Masahiro to roll out to regroup. Now back in, Chono takes Hiroyoshi down with a drop toe hold and begins wearing down his opponent with STFs and chin locks until a rake of the eyes breaks it up. Tenzan fights back with headbutts, chops, and forearms, but Masahiro answers back with an enziguri, sending Hiroyoshi rolling out to regroup.
I had rewound it a couple times. I was trying to figure out when Tenzan got busted open.
Yeah, I couldn't
pinpoint it.
Figure it out either.
Like, when did he hit his head? And I don't know. I doubt he bladed, because it's just like it doesn't get crazy. He probably
the
nicked
headbutt
himself
to the gut.
Yeah, that's why I rewound it. I was like, how is he bleeding after?
Chono, dick of steel. Tenzan then returns for a shoulder block, Mongolian chops, and a powerbomb for a 2 count. Continues with the chops and heads up top for a moonsault, when Chono rolls away to avoid.
It's fucked up to see Tenzan do a moonsault. He's just too big. I mean, I guess I'm saying that when we've seen Vader do moonsaults, but for some reason it looks weirder when Tenzan does it.
Hiroshi's kept down by Masahiro, working the leg with stomps and knee drops, followed by traded headbutts. But Chono goes low to regain control. A Yakuza kick, back suplex, knee drop, and hammering away on the busted open forehead of Tenzan, before several more Yakuza kicks and locking on an STF, only for Hiroyoshi to crawl his way to the ropes.
You have to do more than that.
Masahiro nails a pile driver and locks on the STF again, but Tenzan is able to reach out and grab the ropes. Finally. Chono with right hand after right hand, only for Hiroyoshi to shake them all off, to shove Masahiro into a corner and hammer away. But the blood loss is getting to Tenzan. More Mongolian chops and a powerbomb, only to stumble and not make the immediate pin attempt, allowing Chono to reapply the STF, with Hiroyoshi again making the ropes. Masahiro then charges at his opponent, who back body drops him, leaving both men down momentarily.
They're both spent. That was a desperate backdrop.
Only for Tenzan to deliver a lariat once back on their feet for a near fall. And Hiroyoshi goes to the top for a diving headbutt, making the cover for the pin, and no! Chono kicks out. Tenzan then runs the ropes, but Masahiro hits a spinning heel kick and heads up top, only for Hiroyoshi to meet him there to nail a super back body drop for a 2 count. Tenzan with a lariat for a near fall and a diving headbutt for a 2 count, before a low blow, a body slam, and another diving headbutt for the pin and the win. Tenzan gets the win and eliminates Chono.
Yeah, this was good. And good on Masahiro Chono for taking the loss at the appropriate time, because we all know that Chono was a dickhead and Muto was a dickhead. Like, these guys, they had the Hogan complex.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
I mean, chances are Tenzan and Chono were still buddies, but
probably.
Yeah. So that probably
you usually
helps.
have your best matches with your buddies.
Yeah, and also once everybody's in the NWO, somebody's got to leave. So let's take the most believable, hateable guy, because I don't know if everybody knew how big of a dickhead Muto was at the time.
So the next match is the one that's not available on the show, but it was Keiji Muto defeating Satoshi Kojima to get to 8 points in the A block.
It sounds like it would have been a cool match.
I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see it.
I do love my king of the lariat, the man with the largest pecs in all of Japan, Kojima.
But this would tie Keiji with Yuji Nagata in the tournament. But instead of having head-to-head determine who would advance to the final, they will wrestle later in the evening. So you have that to look forward to.
Book it.
But that takes us to our fourth match. Our guy we talked about earlier with the
largest
breakfast monster morning breakfast.
Yep.
Manabu Nakanishi versus Shinya Hashimoto in a Block B match.
And Manabu is, still rocking black trunks. He's the up-and-comer of the card, basically, or of the tournament, right?
Yep.
Because all these other guys we've seen a bunch of times. And Nakanishi is jacked. I never quite realized or remembered just how this guy's got tree trunks for legs. Yeah. He's huge.
So Nakanishi is sitting at 6 points in the block, needing a win to take it, while Shinya is at 4 points and mathematically eliminated.
Yep. Shinya's ship has kind of sailed at this point. So.
We're getting closer to the last time we've seen Shinya than to the next time we see Shinya.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it when it happened, but that shoot match just kind of deflated his career, and it's one of the reasons we kind of hate that shit.
So we get back and forth action full of arm work, shoulder blocks, and a test of strength, with Manabu forcing his opponent to reach the ropes to escape. Before Hashimoto begins delivering stiff kicks, only for Nakanishi to come back with chops, stomps, and a high knee. Now Manabu lifts Shinya up for the Argentine backbreaker.
Torture rack.
But Hashimoto with shots to the jaw to save himself. When Nakanishi keeps up the attack with clotheslines, only for his opponent to catch him with a thrust to the throat and strikes. A spinning back fist and a rear chin lock continues the punishment by Shinya, with Manabu crawling to the ropes to force a break. But Hashimoto jumps right back on him for a cross arm breaker, only for Nakanishi to make the break. Shinya with chops and a bulldog choke, but Manabu rallies to ram his opponent back first into a corner, followed by hammering away on the back, headbutts, and chops. Nakanishi nails several lariats that don't take down Hashimoto, who just responds with overhead chops to drop his opponent, before more stiff kicks and strikes for a 2 count, which leaves Shinya holding his knee, which was actually a injury from a previous match because he had just faced Chono, and Chono had just tore his knee up. Basically.
Yeah, that's the logic here that typically it's easier to follow
if you're watching all the nights.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you're gonna have a tournament that lasts a month,
work 5 days like this one.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking of now it's like a month and a half.
Yeah,
it's like the whole fucking summer. But you gotta have the stories. By stories, we're talking about in ring stuff. It's like, can he survive that brutal knee beating?
So Manabu finally catches a kick to deliver some shots of his own, only for Shinya to answer back with another spinning back fist, a bulldog choke, knee lifts, and a DDT. But Nakanishi no-sells and is back to his feet.
Just like a zombie.
Hashimoto with another DDT, which Manabu again no-sells. So Shinya hits a jumping DDT for the pin. And no! Nakanishi kicks out. Hashimoto with an imponze and locks on the cross armbreaker again, with Manabu rushing to reach the ropes. A running thrust kick sends Nakanishi to the floor, followed by a drop kick and an enziguri once he's back inside, only for Manabu to spear Shinya in retaliation. Nakanishi then attacks the leg of his opponent with several leaping headbutts, stomps, and stretches around his neck, leading to the submission and the win.
Yeah, Shinya holds on, but the ref calls for the bell. Shinya looks way more physical and looks like he's lost some weight. I assume it's to try to keep his position or appeal on the card after Inoki fucked him. Because, I love Shinya Hashimoto, but this looks a little different than a Shinya Hashimoto match where he just... And also, now that I know the story with the knee, because he's selling the knee throughout the match, but it would make sense also if he's forced to do different things because
he can't just sit there and kick
and spam kicks, because
his knee's hurting.
So maybe my take was a little incorrect, but either way, I think it works. And Nakanishi looks like a fucking monster.
Yeah,
just a hairless beast.
But that takes us to our 5th match: Keiji Muto versus Yuji Nagata in the Block A decision match. These two guys were tied. They both had 8 points in the round robin. And
so this is like an extra match because they were tied at the end of it?
In the round robin part of the tournament, Muto had beaten Nagata. And in this day and age, they would have taken that head-to-head as so Muto advances automatically.
Yeah, but now their points are tied up, right?
Well, even now, like last year, I think there was a match, 2 people were tied, but one of them had won their head-to-head matchup. So they advanced to the playoffs or whatever. Here, for some reason, to fill out a card to give us another match.
It also could be because you're down a guy.
But basically, having them face each other again to determine who goes to the final, since they're tied in points. But the match gets going. It's a feeling out process between the two, full of mat work, leg and headlocks.
And I gotta say this up top. Holy hairline, Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Keiji
is...
I don't remember his hair looking like this last time we saw him. It is
It's Three Stooges.
Yes, it is thin as hell on top, but also the longest I think I've ever seen his hair. So it just looks like a homeless man. It's nuts.
Once they make it back to their feet, only for Muto to take it right back to the mat momentarily. Yuji slaps his opponent several times, but Keiji answers back with a spinning back kick and goes for the cartwheel back elbow, when Nagata catches him to take Muto down into a Nagata Lock 3, forcing Muto to reach the ropes.
Love that spot.
Multiple knee lifts by Yuji, only for Keiji to catch one to hit a dragon screw leg whip.
My favorite move.
And apply a figure 4, with Nagata dragging himself to the ropes to break the hold. A basement drop kick and another dragon screw from Muto to keep up the attack. Looks to lock in the figure 4 once more, but Yuji with a kick to the head knocks down his opponent to reapply the Nagata Lock 3, with Keiji making the ropes finally. Yuji then delivers an exploder of justice, goes for a spinning heel kick, only for Muto to avoid and nail a basement drop kick. Goes to the figure 4, but Nagata counters it into a cross arm breaker until Keiji is able to maneuver to the ropes. Stiff kicks, enziguris, spinning heel kicks, a Pele kick are all exchanged between the two, leading to Muto basement drop kicks and the figure 4 in the middle of the ring for the submission and the win. So the reason I brought all that stuff up at the beginning of the match was because this match kind of sucked because of the sheer fact that both of them had already wrestled once earlier, and whoever won literally is wrestling in the very next match.
Yeah.
So they weren't trying to do anything that was going to just completely wear them out.
I mean, they would be silly to, because you're about to have a top of, a main event.
Yeah.
And
you want to try and put as much of it into that.
It's the G1 main event. Like, it has to be at least very good, but hopefully great.
Yeah.
I noticed that, Muto was holding onto Nagata's shin pad. I don't know, like during the figure 4, and I was like, is that cheating? Or what? Or was that just showing how much he wanted the win or whatever? This wasn't awful. It just wasn't what it could have been or should have been.
Yeah.
I really would have loved to see a Nagata win. That would have felt good. But
obviously me saying that it sucks, I understand why it sucks.
It's still so much better than plenty of stuff we watch.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Just in the grand scheme of a G1 final night, like, this did not reach the highs or the energy that we've had previously. Which, honestly, if this is if you're going into the final after this, that just means that the final's going to look so much better.
You definitely hope so.
Yeah,
you definitely
for
hope
sure.
so. But that does take us to our 6th match. Keiji Muto with Hiro Saito and Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Manabu Nakanishi in the G1 Climax Finals. And Muto starts it off with a dropkick, only for Manabu to answer back with a body slam before they transition to a test of strength, with Keiji gaining the advantage, until Nakanishi drops his opponent with a belly-to-belly suplex. Exchange strikes between the two when Muto nails a flash elbow drop for a 2 count. Keeps Manabu grounded with arm locks, shoulder blocks, and a cartwheel back elbow, only for Nakanishi to catch and lift Keiji up into an Argentine backbreaker.
Which, for everyone listening, it looks like a torture rack.
I mean, that's what it is.
It's what it is, but it's just, that's why all my notes say torture racks. Like, I don't know the name of what they called it, like, in Japan or what. So, just for the listener.
The official title of the move.
Yeah.
Muto elbows his way free and hits a basement dropkick, a dragon screw leg whip, and locks in a figure 4, forcing Manabu to crawl to the ropes. And Keiji heads up top for a missile dropkick, places his opponent on the turnbuckles to nail a Frankensteiner for the pin, and Nakanishi kicks out. And Muto reapplies the figure 4, causing Manabu to scream out in pain, but he's able to reach the ropes to break the hold. Keiji delivers kicks, only for Nakanishi to respond with a clothesline, clubbing blows and a belly-to-belly suplex, followed by lifting his opponent into the backbreaker once again. But they get too close to the turnbuckles, allowing Muto to push off and flip out of the finisher and leg-whipping Manabu down to the mat. Keiji with a moonsault off the top for a near fall, but Nakanishi responds with a spear, elbow drop, and a vertical suplex for a 2 count. More exchange strikes when Manabu would hit a backdrop suplex and a bridging German for a near fall, before stomping away and running the ropes, only for Muto to deliver a hurricanrana and transition into the figure 4.
Nasty.
In the middle of the ring.
The crowd is hot. The crowd is started to take for Manabu. We're getting Manabu chants. The match starts.
He's definitely the underdog.
He's not the underdog, but he's turned the tides a little bit because at the beginning of the match, people were chanting for Muto. And we're getting Manabu chants.
Nakanishi won't give up.
He holds in forever.
Finally rolling his way to the ropes. But once he's back to his feet, Keiji takes right back down with a dragon screw leg whip.
This poor man's knee.
Muto tries for another, only for Nakanishi to lift him onto his shoulders for another Argentine backbreaker for the submission and the win. Post-match, Nagata comes in to celebrate with Manabu, lifting him onto his shoulders as the crowd cheers for the tournament winner.
Manabu.
Nakanishi is then given the mic to deliver some words to the crowd before being presented with a plaque, several trophies, and a big 10 million yen check, followed by streamers going off as we fade to black.
Sick match. This is why I love wrestling. The matches are so good, you don't need commentary. Because the story's all there. It's like there's the little things that about injury and stuff that you pointed out or that we had to deduce about Chono and Tenzan, but you can get it in vibe. Like you kind of understand what's going on. It's like even if I thought that Chono was still in NWO, I know that there was like an issue.
Yeah. I mean, even if you still thought they were both in the NWO, it's 2 guys in the NWO fighting. And
yeah. And we're not
Tenzan trying to prove his point or something. You know?
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to take a finger poke.
So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of the G1 Climax Final 1999?
This was a joy to watch. Turned it on, and sometimes you turn on a wrestling show and you're like, all right, how far am I going to get into this before I take a break or save it for later? But this one, I turned on, and each match flew right by. They were all a joy, and all of them had great in-ring storytelling that was so good that, like I said, I didn't need to speak Japanese to kind of just understand what was going on. As far as, the like emotionally from each guy, like kind of where they were coming from.
Yep.
This is where people get proven, and Manabu's like the young up-and-coming guy, and he just got anointed a top-of-the-card wrestler for at least the next handful of years. I'd imagine, unless he gets Inoki'd like Hashimoto.
I mean, I literally wrote after I finished watching this. I was like, "This is why we watch New Japan Pro Wrestling."
Yeah, and honestly,
this kind of show right here.
I wish that New Japan looked more like this than it does now, and they still do a type of wrestling that I prefer over there, but this just has more grit and a little more realism.
I mean, it was so hard for me not to just sit there and go, look at what New Japan is doing with all of their, because they got the old guard, and they got these new guys that are just now starting to kind of come into their own, and you can see that they're building those new guys, but they're not taking anything away from the old guys. I mean, the old guys have to lose some for the new guys to come up.
It also depends on how famous they're like. It's like Fujinami. It's like he's not completely dusted yet, but he's also like the most famous guy over the last like 20 years or whatever.
But like just looking at how they're doing it here and how New Japan hasn't been doing that in the last couple years in current day.
Yeah. It's been very hit and miss where like, oh, they got this one right. And then it's like, but they didn't capitalize
for like
on
every
it.
step forward they take right now, it's like they end up taking 2 steps back a little bit. I mean, I think they finally have kind of righted the ship a little bit because most of the old guard is just gone.
Yeah, because they either, I mean, I know the yen is down and all that, but also like Okada didn't want to lose to those younger guys. And yeah, he could still go, but the guy could barely walk too. He could go when he needed to, but those injuries for being so great for so long catch up to you quickly. And it's like that. If you see the guy walk down the aisleway for like AEW, it's like, what is this, a Frankenstein? Like,
yeah,
you got to take time off to get better, and some of those injuries just compound. It's like, look at Kenny Omega. AEW started, and he's had some great matches, but granted he had the sepsis thing, but still, it's like he just can't be the same guy.
Yeah.
But I think there's something also magic about the cerulean blue New Japan mat, because when those guys have come back the 1 or 2 times, they always put on a match that's somehow better than most things they've been doing in the company that they like help found. I don't know. It just hits different in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right. Fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
I mean, I talked about how early in the show, how much I just kind of realized how much I love a dragon screw leg whip, and then the rest of the show I got plenty of them. So that was fun. I really liked the Fujinami match, and I was surprised because I know that he's older at this point, and we've seen some bad Fujinami matches, but he's also across from our previous Power Warrior, who's kind of been a upper mid-card guy.
I mean, he's kind of been the man here
recently,
the last couple years.
Yeah, but they just put on. It might not have been the most like high flying or whatever, but I thought that it dragged me in. I mean, I had such good. I mean, of course,
I'm not gonna. That match and the Tenzan Chono match were my 2 favorite matches on this show.
Yeah.
And literally,
there's no bad matches. There's one that's not as good as it could have been, but we talked about that.
Yeah.
We can't really blame them for.
I mean, I think, and this is going to kind of dwell into the most disappointing a little bit.
That's fine.
But the reason, Muto has just kind of become boring to me because he just spams the same 3 moves.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's not. It's also one of those things where he plays
the hits and it's all he can really do because of injuries and age and
like
all that stuff.
Like in '88, he was doing too damn much and continued to do that until he couldn't do it anymore. So, and Chono is a little different because Chono kind of always has been the guy that spams those things. It's more about aura, where we've seen Keiji Muto be the exciting guy that was like trailblazing. And not that it's bad, it's just when you compare it to the heights of a previous Muto.
But like, especially in the Chono Tenzan match, like Chono's just like wailing away on Tenzan. Tenzan's just like, whatever, bro, just keep bringing it.
Yeah, and like I said, you know that these guys.
And the only thing that drops him is because he's bleeding, which we don't even know where it came from. But
it's executed well.
The way that they incorporated it into the match makes me feel like it probably
was a blade
job.
Yeah.
Even though we don't know when it was done.
Yeah, like exactly, but yeah. And
wouldn't it be awesome if it wasn't a blade job and then they still worked it into the match somehow?
The fact that we couldn't find out where it happened kind of adds to the believability, but I feel like that these guys just must be great friends because they're like, hey, you know what? What if we steal the show? Right. What if we just work together and steal the show? It's like just lay into me and I'll lay into you and it's gonna look great.
I mean, Manabu looked impressive in his matches. I did like him.
Yeah. He's a monster.
The dude is so, like, I think I've said that about Sasaki the last couple of years. Whenever he's shown up, I'm just like, this dude is just so much like buffer and bigger than everyone else. And then Manabu walks in this year, and I'm just like, what are you eating?
Yeah.
And then I see what he's eating, and I'm like,
all right,
okay,
cool.
that's why you're like that.
Yeah, you're eating that, but also, it's like, how long are you spending in the gym? Also, Manabu kind of like, he had a match with past his prime, but I thought the match was still good. Shinya, and then with Muto, who, like you said, spams the
he
moves.
had to beat 2 of the 3 Musketeers.
Yeah.
To win the championship or win the title or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the tournament.
There we go.
But
that's the word I was looking for.
But yeah, he didn't have. There's like quote unquote strong opponents, but as far as we want to talk about like work rate,
yeah,
it's like those aren't necessarily the guys. I mean, Muto is going to do a lot of things, or he's going to do a few things a lot of times.
Yeah.
So,
any disappointing? I already said Muto spamming basically his moves.
Yeah, but that's just Muto.
Also disappointed that we didn't get to see the Muto Kojima match, which is kind of a contradiction in what I just said. But
yeah,
I love Kojima.
So. In this era, Kojima is extra fun, just because we haven't seen as much of it because we're used to him as an older guy. But
and he's still fun to watch as an older guy. Like
he's one of the few.
He's one of the few older guys that like when he comes on, I don't go, okay, I'll just skip this to the next match because I don't care. Like, Kojima is still fun to watch,
and he's going to just clothesline the shit out of people, and it won't typically doesn't get boring. It helps, like, that he's a triangle essentially.
Anything else disappointing?
It's hard to get mad about getting to see the kind of wrestling that I like.
Exactly.
Good, hard hitting stuff. It all makes sense. They're telling stories with punches. It's kind of all I'm looking for. And I don't know if any of these had holy shit moments, but they all had me 100% engaged.
How about best performer of the night? Tenzan's my guy.
I mean, Tenzan was the one that I had the most energy for outside of Manabu, but I had that energy for Manabu because he was the young up-and-comer underdog, whereas Tenzan, it was all in his performance more than anything.
Like, I think if that Tenzan Chono match for me is like, there's the line for the short list, and it's like, it's hitting at that line.
Yeah.
But doesn't quite make it over the line. For me.
I agree, but all of these are like just underneath. They're all like all of these except for
the decision match.
Yeah, except for the decision match are honorable mention worthy.
Yeah,
you should watch the show. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
especially for an hour and 45 minutes of all good wrestling, no promos, no packages. We just go match, and they're all engaging.
And most surprising was Manabu winning. Surprise.
Well, it felt weird if Muto won at this point.
Yeah,
because he doesn't need it. But I was a little bit worried about it. But I don't know if I would call it surprising. Maybe
like if Shinya had won the match against Manabu, then I would have been shocked if Muto had beaten Nagata, because I would have thought that they were going to put Nagata over.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it was either going to be Nagata over Shinya to win the tournament, or it was going to be Manabu over Muto to win the tournament. Like, they were always going to have a young guy beating an established legend. I'm going to call him a legend, because these guys are...
Yeah, they're like... Of course they are. Like, when people that even like vaguely, like if you're a American like wrestling fan,
90s New Japan is Muto, Chono, and Hashimoto.
yeah, if you're like just vaguely familiar with New Japan as a lifelong wrestling fan, you at least know the name Keiji Muto and Masahiro Chono, and Shinya would be less famous, but yeah.
Once you watch him once, you go,
yeah.
This guy fucking rocks.
Yeah. And once you see him, it's like, oh, well, nobody else looks like him.
Yeah. Actually, something surprising for me, and it's only because I know vaguely what happens in the future.
Yeah.
But Tadao Yasuda only not having any points in this tournament.
That was a surprise for me too, because I didn't know that until you brought it up. So yeah, for him to just get walked all over, I wonder why. I'm curious as to if they are done with him or if this is to set up a redemption run.
I'm going to tell you that it's a redemption run of some sort because he makes it to the big stage.
Okay. Which is weird too, because I don't hate the guy, but he's the least talented wrestler, obviously. But he's a previous.
But here's the thing: like we're not even technically in Enochiism yet. We're getting the precursors of it. But we're not even in like the main period of it.
The 2000s like MMA boom era.
So, by the time we watch our next New Japan show, Hiroshi, Tanahashi, and Shibata will both have debuted.
As Young Lions?
As Young Lions.
Okay.
They'll have their first match like a month or two later after this. And another little behind the scenes for everyone. Like, that was kind of the point. Like, we were just going to kind of gradually watch New Japan until Tanahashi debuted. And then we were going to, like, kind of kick it into high gear of watching New Japan shows more.
Yeah.
They're still hard to find, though. So we're definitely going to watch more.
And how long before Tanahashi actually like turns it around? Because he kind of has a Naito type of situation.
Obviously, his first match is 99. So I think it's at least 3. Young Lions usually take about 3 years before they're really.
Yeah, but even when he first comes in, it's after he gets stabbed that he comes back.
I don't remember when he gets stabbed.
I feel like 2005 is kind of when he gets big, right? Or becomes like the guy.
Yeah, he comes back on February 3rd. February 2003 is when he returned after his stabbing.
Okay.
So,
and then from there, it's kind of like...
That's when they kind of kick him into high gear and Tanahashi becomes...
The guy.
So, we still have a few more years before he becomes the guy, but, you know.
It's all right. We got Manabu Nakanishi.
That's right.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week's film is Summer Storm, released July 14th, 1944 by United Artists. Directed by Douglas Sirk and written by Roland Lee, Robert Theron, and Anton Chekhov. It stars George Sanders, a one-time Oscar nominee, winning that only time, Linda Darnell, Edward Everett Horton, Anna Lee, and Hugo Haas. And the plot of this one is it's a tale of power and passions when a Russian siren, who wants the finer things in life, sinks her hooks into a judge, a decadent aristocrat, and an estate superintendent, with surprising results.
A dastardly femme fatale.
Some trivia for this one. The setting was moved from the 1840s from the original source to the 1910s. So the framing sequences would take place after Russian Revolution. And George Sanders was actually born in Russia. Mm-hmm. So some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb has it at a 6.6. Letterboxd at a 3.4. And I found this review from Derek Winnert on DerekWinnert.com from 2017. Linda Darnell is ideal as the lovely but dangerous Russian peasant. Cirque directs with style and the right melodramatic touch, and is distinguished by especially fine performances. My review is, now I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
All right.
Linda Darnell is
nice radio edit.
Linda Darnell is an irresistible beauty who has all of the men falling in love with her, even the ones who are already married, and they just can't give her up in this melodrama. George Sanders does a great job in our lead role, but Horton's Volsky is a bit of a bumbling fool who obviously only gets by because he is an aristocrat.
Well, that's fun. I always like that kind of character when it's done well. Famously, in my opinion, Brian O'Neill in Barry Lyndon. Just a complete fool. But he didn't even realize it because he's kind of an idiot in real life. So it just really works out perfectly.
And the rest of our film is Mike Mazurki.
Of course it is.
And this is our 19th time seeing him. And he's playing a policeman who just stands over our main character as he dies at the very end of the film.
How'd you like this one?
I gave the movie a 3.0 and a wrestler performance of 3.0 as well. Like,
this is not like a B movie, is it?
No, it's definitely not a B movie.
I didn't think so. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of old actors, so none of these names mean anything to me. But just the premise and everything felt like this was a marquee film. Like
Mr. Wintert said, the performances are good, but there's some pacing issues that I think just kind of keep it from ever
kicking into
gear and just like keeping you on the edge of your seat, like wanting to
kind of meanders at points.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So
maybe it should have been a B picture that it was because then it'd be shorter.
But if this does sound interesting to you and you want to check it out, it is on YouTube. Go out there.
It's available.
Check it out. Next week, SummerSlam 1999.
I don't know that I know what happens in SummerSlam 99. I'm trying to think of what the main event is, but I guess we'll talk about that next week.
It was the ever-changing main event, is what we'll say.
Okay. It feels like that's kind of where we are at the moment with WWF, where we're like, we got a lot of irons in the fire, but we haven't pulled the trigger on kind of the one everybody's waiting for.
Because the last time we watched a WWF show, at the end of the show, it was going to be China versus Austin.
Which obviously cannot sell a pay-per-view.
Exactly. Especially a SummerSlam.
No.
So, but we'll talk more about all that next week.
Absolutely.
Music from this week's show is The Score by Emerson, Lake and Powell. And Manabu Nakanishi won our main event, so we play his music, Hard Shuffle by NJP Unit.
I'm curious to hear these tunes because they were all cut out. All the musical entrances were muted on the world version of this show.
And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. Do as Michael says.
5 stars or no stars. Leave a comment on the YouTube. I don't know if they're Russian bots or what, but we've been getting a lot of views on YouTube.
We have.
It's kind of crazy. I'm like, surely there's not that many people listening to this. But
if there are that many people, thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
I just put a thumbs up in the comments so we know you're real.
We had at least 9 likes when I looked, like the day after it premiered.
Yeah, but there was like
last week's episode.
Episodes are like 10,000 listens. Like that's never happened to any of these 200 and some odd episodes we've done. So yeah, it's real. That's real cool. And
thank you.
And still make nothing off of this and don't plan to. So enjoy a podcast with no ads.
And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO.
X. Laters, but in Japanese.
Sayonara.